For decades, if you wanted to keep an official record, you wrote it down. Faking that data meant physically erasing ink, ripping out a page, or forging handwriting in a tangible book. When critical industries replaced those dusty ledgers with servers and databases, the assumption was that computers would guarantee perfect accuracy. The reality was much messier. Electronic data has a unique flaw. It is entirely invisible. Without physical pages, a single keystroke can delete an entire day's work, and an altered entry looks completely indistinguishable from the truth. In pharmaceutical lines pumping out billions of doses, or aerospace shops building commercial jets, a simple "trust me" doesn't satisfy regulators. When an error in a batch calculation can affect millions of patients, the record must be beyond reproach. Protecting these invisible records ensures that the physical product matches its documented design. This chain of custody proves that a pill contains the correct chemistry, or a jet engine meets its exact safety tolerances before it ever leaves the factory. The push for absolute digital accuracy really took shape because of the 1970s. Regulators uncovered massive, widespread fraud in scientific toxicology reports, forcing the creation of strict good laboratory practices. Then came the Barr case in 1993. A major court ruling exposed companies that were actively testing into compliance. They were running tests over and over, hiding the failures and only reporting the final successful result. As the world digitized, agencies like the FDA realized they needed a universal, legally binding language to govern electronic truth. They created a standard known as ALCOA. The first letter, A, stands for attributable. Every action must be tied to a specific person. No shared passwords and no anonymous entries. L and C stand for legible and contemporaneous. The data has to be entirely readable throughout its life cycle, and it must be recorded exactly as it happens. Backdating a file is an immediate violation. Finally, O and A demand that the record is original and accurate. A photocopy of a printout doesn't count. The electronic file itself is the primary source, and it must be free of unauthorized edits. By enforcing ALCOA, abstract digital inputs became legally binding, verifiable facts. But computer systems grew more complex. Regulators expanded the standard to ALCOA Plus, demanding that datasets be complete, run in a consistent sequence, endure long-term storage so files can still open a decade later, and be instantly available for inspection. Eventually, we reached ALCOA Plus, which added one final requirement: traceability. Auditors need to see the entire journey of a single number, from the raw measurement on the lab floor to the final printed report. We need that complete map because human manipulation is still a threat. In 2013, a global pharmaceutical firm was caught deleting unwanted test results to force product batches to pass inspection, resulting in massive financial losses and a strict import ban. To catch that kind of fraud, modern systems rely on the electronic audit trail. This is an automated log that records, timestamps, and tracks every single keystroke. Change a 4 to a 5, and the system permanently flags you. This accountability is often bypassed in hybrid systems. These setups run a digital test, but print results on physical paper, effectively scrubbing the digital record of failed attempts that didn't make the page. Erasing those files is illegal. True data integrity requires proving that the software works exactly as intended, stripping away any hidden corners where failed data might be discarded. Yet all the digital fortresses and audit trails in the world will fail if the people at the top are corrupting the process. If management financially rewards a team for a passing result, or pressures them to meet an impossible deadline, employees will find a way to manipulate the numbers. Protecting the system starts with strict data governance. First, companies must lock down user access. Base-level staff should never have the administrative permissions to delete or alter raw data. Second, quality assurance managers cannot just sign off on a final printed report. They actually have to log into the system and review the invisible digital audit trails to verify how those results were achieved. This level of scrutiny isn't optional anymore. Global health and regulatory bodies have universally aligned to enforce these exact ALCOA++ standards around the world. The legal reality is absolute. If the digital data isn't perfectly compliant, the work officially didn't happen. Following these guidelines is the only way these industries survive, and it is the only way we can trust the products they create.